And I don't know if any of you folks know, but we have one of the most traveled patriots in the state of Florida. Actually, we have two of the most traveled patriots, because I just seen him, he came up to me. But we have, from Bikers for 45, the Godfather, George Colella, and there's his partner, riding partner, right over there, Rick Sarmiento. Give a big warm welcome to the Godfather, George Colella.
Hello, how you doing, everybody? My name is George Colella. I'm the national president for Bikers for 45. Rick Sarmiento is the founder, and there's John White that's the co-founder. I've been involved with President Trump since the beginning. I was one of the original Bikers for Trump. I'm up to about 46,535 miles on my motorcycle since I started for Trump. Then we started Bikers for 45 to get away from the monotony of the other crew. So what we did is, our main agenda is to get President Trump elected.
Amen.
That's what we have to do, which is important. So the thing that's most important about what is going on in the United States right now, it's unbelievable, and we can see what's going on in Seattle, Washington. The most important thing is we're going to bring up about the Second Amendment, which is important. We have a fantastic guy here that's running for commissioner, and it's important that what we do is to defend our constitutional right. We are a constitutional republic, not a democracy,
Amen.
which I tell people all the time about this.
Amen.
And I wrote some stuff down, which we're trying to find. I must have erased it. But that's what I did. So anyway, but the main objective is to see what's going on around the country. The coronavirus didn't work, which we all know, and now they started with the racial tension that are going on now. Black Lives Matter is a Marxist group. This is what they're trying to do to destroy this country. Antifa, the best one is now, they just said that the Democrats are saying that it might be the white supremacists that are joining Antifa to cause all this stuff that's going on, which is BS. The problem is they're not teaching the history of what this country's about, and that's what they're denying us. There are, in fact, China's very big involved, and I'm going to tell you stuff which I had it written down, but I don't know what the F I did. But and China, just China alone, to the big colleges, gives over $3 billion. And that's why when the professors are teaching Harvard University, even Yale, the big colleges, in fact, Harvard got $1 billion from China. There's 360,000 students from China. I can't say Chinese students because then they might, people from here, but from China itself, there's 360,000 students here. They are taking all our technology. We have the situation with China that 90% of the medical, of all our drugs, are coming from China. All this medical supplies that we were supposed to get when we got the coronavirus, since they started this shit, the freighters were turned around back to China. So China has too much control of us, which that's what President Trump is trying to stop. And this is why China is involved with the United States. And don't think they're not helping with George Soros. Everybody knows George Soros. All the other bullshit that goes on. It's very hard for me to keep my Brooklyn language when I speak. I'm holding back, you have no idea. But I see I got my brother Jimmy there, and one of our Bikers 45 guys there, and I had some other members here. The thing is that we are being pushed. And the problem is, like, we had a big rally in Brooksville, as everybody knows. And I couldn't show up because I was on the East Coast doing something else already. But there's a website that says defending Hernando County. There's 2,000 members on Hernando County's Defending Hernando County. Only 52 people showed up at the rally. They had 300 people, which they busted. They've been busting out. It's amazing how they're organized. And you can tell that there's a lot of money. Just people are just stupid. I mean, I have pictures on my, which I would appreciate you following me on Facebook, which I put a lot of interesting stuff up that I investigate. The thing that's important, like I said, is you have to pay attention and listen to they're trying to keep our eye off the ball. And there's so much garbage, so much shit happening, put it that way, that they are being effective about what's going to happen to them as the Democratic Party. They are afraid. And they figure doing this racial tension that they're going to get the black vote. But I don't think too many black people are falling for this shit. So that's the main thing. Everybody sees what's happening up in Seattle, Washington. There was a rumor out that bikers for Trump are going to go there. And that's BS. It's not happening because they don't have anybody there anyway. But I don't know if everybody heard the Proud Boys. Anybody heard the Proud Boys? Boys of Power of Prayer. They get, there was a video I posted about 2 years ago. They beat the shit out of Antifa like there was no tomorrow. So we have to be close together and defend, and we have to defend what our right is, which is our Constitution. And I'll repeat it over and over again. We are a constitutional republic, not a democracy. Amen. And it's so important. It's amazing how the coronavirus, you couldn't attend funerals, you couldn't attend the loved ones that were in the hospital and everything else like that. But when these protests came out, it didn't matter. And mostly all the problems, what we have in the problems is the Democratic controlled states and cities. Every place. I mean, everybody can see what's going on Facebook. I don't have to keep on explaining over and over again. We must put the people in office that are important. There's too many people in there. There's rhinos in there. There's Republicans, and we have them here in Florida because I've been around. Trust me. I went all over with Ron DeSantis. They were trying to sabotage his campaign, which I caught a lot of it. And I tried to straighten it out my way, which is the Brooklyn way. I told them I use special language. I have proof here of people that know how I am. I don't take shit from anybody. I might be a little fat, short guy, but I can handle myself pretty good. I took off 65 pounds, so I'm almost, not that much of a little fat, short guy, but I'm a little. Anyway. But I came from the streets of New York. I'm a World Trade Center survivor. I was in Tower, the North Tower, when the planes hit. I don't want to get into that story because that's another story about that guy. But the reason why I do what I do is because, and I hate to go into Champion store all the time over there because every time I go in there, I wind up spending money. I say hello to the guy because I like the guy. And I respect what he does, but it costs me money every time I go into that store. So that pisses me off. So I like you as a friend, but you hurt my pocket too much. So I ain't gonna come and visit you too much. But he's got very important Second Amendment thinking going on there. But like I said, I was in the World Trade Center, and how much time I got? 5 more minutes. Okay, good. And let me tell you how all this stuff started. President Trump is working against the New World Order, the globalists, the deep state. The deep state is deep. It's deep here in the United States and in Europe. If a long time ago, the old George Bush made a speak and said his exact words that we need a new world order. In 1993, see, my memory's coming back on what I wrote. In 1993, the first World Trade Center bombing happened, which I was there. But in 1994, the European Union was created, which that's how the New World Order was going to start. And you notice that they have the one currency, the euro dollar, the euro. And 32 countries decided to join that to create the New World Order. And don't forget, it's the New World Order, United Nations, the WHO, I'm not talking about the group, the World Health Organization. And they're all in this together to take the United States down. Now, in 1994, I said the European Union was created. In 1994, also CARE was created. Everybody knows what CARE is? Do I have to educate everybody? It's the Council for Islamic American Relations, which is known as a terrorist group. All of a sudden, the Confederate flag bothers everybody, which people don't know history about the Confederate flag and what the colors stand for and what the flag was, a battle flag, not a racist flag. The Democrats created that one with the slavery bullshit, that they own. But the red is for the blood of Christ. The white is for the purity of God. The 13 stars were the 13 colonies that were trying to secede from the Union. The cross is the St. Andrew cross that was the first disciple that was crucified of one of the apostles of Christ, which he didn't want to be crucified like Jesus was. He was crucified as the shape as the cross. Plus, he's the patron saint of Scotland. So, when I put stuff on my page, I investigate most of the stuff, and we are a force not to be messed with. I'm not just talking bikers, because I registered about, when Ron DeSantis was running for office, I registered about 10,000 bikers in Florida, because a lot of people didn't know how important it was. And I went into certain biker clubs to explain to them exactly how important, why we did what we did. A lot of people don't want to get, in these clubs don't want to get involved with politics, but it was a concern of Florida. If you notice how good Ron DeSantis is, I even know his parents. I was introduced to his parents by Ron DeSantis. I followed him from the beginning because he decided, we took down some protesters. We removed them, hopefully physically. And Ron decided to write in my book, To the Strong and Faithful. Once he wrote that in my book, I'm dedicated. And I'm dedicated to the cause of getting President Trump reelected. The most important thing is to educate people. Education is the biggest thing that helps this country. They're trying to hide history. Because, I mean, I like to see them take down the Columbus statue in Columbus Circle in New York, where all the Italians are. I think there'll be a lot of people in cement when that happens. But I don't think that's going to happen too much. But it's amazing what they're trying to do with the statues. There's no way, they're trying to take the one down in here. That's why they did the protest, the 300 people. They tried it once before. But we had guys there 24 hours a day watching and everything else. You don't want to destroy, you do not want to destroy the history that was done. I mean, there was mistakes made like everything else, but like the pastor said here, you better go back to the Roman times. And then the morons, I forgot some pictures, but I have a picture that I put on my page. It shows a burnt out car, and it shows rubbles of building. It looks like Afghanistan, Iraq. And what it is, it's actually Minneapolis. They destroyed 390 minority businesses in the state of Minnesota. 390 minority businesses. And that's, yeah. But the Black Lives Matter kid, Chicago had a total of, as far as today, 1,400 killings. Memorial Day weekend, they had 18. Yeah, thank you. So there's a website you go check all this information called kickingass.com, which is a website that tells you all the murders that happened. And Black Lives Matter didn't bother going to Chicago, but all this bullshit and everything that they're doing, the destruction of this country it has to be stopped. And I hope the president does. I know. Listen, what the general did, he made the right call, not standing about, because they cannot be in the military, cannot be politically involved with anything. So what the general said was fine. These other generals that are coming out, they're part of the deep state that are saying that he's out of control, all the stuff and everything else. All these people, and watch exactly what's going on. It's very important because what they're trying to do is trying to do everything possible to take down the president. President Trump was chosen for this job. If anybody has, well, if you go to Amazon now, they got, we support Black Lives Matter, Netflix, it's like everybody's getting. NASCAR now, they're done. NFL was done. I haven't watched since Captain Dick decided to take his first knee. But this is what they're trying to do. So we have to stick together and make sure, please come to these rallies. We don't need effing keyboard warriors.
Amen.
Don't need them. They don't help. I've been running all over the state, and I've been in Alabama, I've been in Texas. When Trump started, I went all over the place with the Bikers for Trump. And I was all over the United States. I didn't do 46,000 miles just to go around in circles. That I didn't do. And people know I don't bullshit. I do what I say, and I do what I do. And I have a lot of respect from all the clubs and everything else. If I call them, I get support from them and everything. So, again, I have to say, God bless you all. Thank you very much for coming. This is very important. We should have more people here, like it's usual. Some people, they get complicit. They think everything's going to be fine. But when Joe Biden gets elected, then they'll put him in a nursing home. And then you're going to have the vice president run, you know, because they're going to say he's not compatible. And don't think this is a Trump win right away, because people are going to say, with all this bullshit that's going on, maybe better off if we do vote for Biden, because everything might stop. This is what people are thinking. This is the word that's out there. I drove, well, no bike, I got up to 22,000 miles, and I only got the bike 10 months. Now, going back and forth from the East Coast to the West Coast, I was riding, I take back roads. You'll be surprised how many small businesses are not reopening. They're not opening. They're just, it's going to stay closed, and they're not going to do it anymore, and that's it, it's over. So just think of all the stuff that happened because of this is what they wanted to do. They wanted to destroy our country. They wanted it because we're too powerful, and because we were never attacked by any other country, it's because of the Second Amendment. And they know everybody, especially coming to Florida. I don't want to mention any names, but I'm just, this is very important. So carry wisely. I know everybody says lock and load, it's really load and lock, because it's very hard to do it the opposite way. Right there, Mr. Champion? Well, it was because of a John Wayne movie. Put it that way. It's amazing how these big actors always become lieutenants, generals. They're never peons. And then they got these guys now doing all these movies with guns. I mean, they're taking the gun away from Elva Fudd because of the Rickety Rabbit there. They're taking that off. Paw Patrol, a kid's show, they're taking that off because the shepherd is shut. He's got a police uniform. I mean, give me an extra break. Well, yeah, Live PD, that's done. And Cops, to show Cops, that's done too. Because it's known as Copmania, something. Copmania. I mean, this is the mentality you got. And you go back to a very simple thing. People will say, oh, you have $10, okay? So now, they take away $3 out of the 10. Well, it's not that bad. Well, we had 10, we got 7 now, so it's not bad the $3 they took away. And then they go back, well, you got 7, we'll do 5. And now you used to have 7, oh, we still got 5. Before you know it, you got nothing. That's the same thing with the Constitution, what they're going to do. Little by little, they'll just cut it like a chicken and let it bleed. How many people used to go to a place with a chicken, you cut it and let it bleed? That's what they're trying to do to us. They're bleeding this country, and we must stop. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. My name is George Colella. I'm known as the Godfather. Godfather name I had for a long time as a biker. I'm the national president. Like I said, I got Rick Semriento here. I thought he was Italian. I know him for 6 years, but he's not Italian. He's got the name as an Italian, but he tricked me for 4 years. And I got John White. But I accept him. He's my brother. from another mother. I appreciate. So is Mr. Murphy there, Jimmy Murphy with his truck. Everybody saw his 45 truck with all the Trump stuff on it. Well, it was designed with other stuff before. So thanks again. God bless everybody. We got plenty of speakers here. Make sure, just walk into Sam Champion's, Sam Champion, I think of the other guy. Champion's store without credit cards. Because it costs you a lot of money. As you walk in, it's amazing how the cards come out of your wallet and they disappear. All right, thank you very much. Appreciate you all, and God bless. Thank you.